I have 30 seconds.
Plenty of time. All right. Good evening, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the monthly meeting of the Tarrant County College District Board of Trustees. Today is November 17th. It's our 6 o'clock in the evening. We do have a quorum, and we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Want to make sure that we thank everyone that has been involved in the preparation of all the documentation. Want to thank also Dr. LeBlanc for meeting with us so that we can get all of our questions asked, and also Ms. Alanis. So thank you all for that. We'll go ahead and start out with public comment, and we have Mr. David Lowe. Hi, Mr. Lowe. We're gonna, are you ready? Reginald, Mr. Gates? Okay, you can just introduce yourself and then he'll give you the time here, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is David Lowe and I live in North Richland Hills. My first question to the board is, did the board violate the law? Government Code 552.123 and the Board of Trustees.
Thank you.
The Board of Trustees, bylaw number 15, requires 21 days notice to be given before the date of a meeting in which a final action or vote is to be taken on the employment of a person. On the TCC announcement released on October 20th, 2022, Section 8C1 states, consideration of the formation of an executive search committee to evaluate and assess candidates and nominees for the position of Chancellor of Tarrant County College. That said, let me repeat that. Nominees and candidates. Okay? The board only gave 17 days notice, not 21 days notice as the law requires. That's why 2 people on this board did not vote for the new chancellor. I don't believe that there was any nefarious activity here. I believe it was an oversight. And I believe that there's always more than one possible candidate. It is not right to only just pick one person without interviewing or considering other options. Please take a minute, review the law, and I think that you need to redo the process and start interviewing some additional candidates. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe. Our next one, Denise Lynn. Ms. Lynn. Oh, careful. Thank you for coming, Ms. Lynn.
Thank you. I also wanted to talk about the new chancellor that you've hired. I'm not sure what happened with the process, but it seemed to me that the process was not followed. The interim chancellor is someone that you knew, and maybe you thought that she was a very good person for the job. I don't know her, and I couldn't say one way or the other. It's just that when you have a quiet meeting, not a public meeting, and then you decide who the new chancellor is going to be, it really makes the public wonder what was going on. Why wasn't it done publicly? And how many candidates did you have? Did you search for candidates, or did you just go ahead and choose one? So you're making the process is making us wonder why you chose the chancellor that you did. See, you should be posting your position, doing a search, interviewing people, and there might be nothing wrong with the chancellor that you chose. She might be a great person for the job, but the way that you did it makes us wonder. So the other thing I wanted to address was something that I have talked about before, and I did some research and I want to follow up on it. I don't feel that this board is acting properly when it comes to representing the public. See, you're elected, and you're elected as our representation, and we don't see you representing us at all. This is the 3rd month in a row that I've come to talk about this kind of thing because I see that I'm not being represented on this board. What I do see is the board is working as an extension of the school administration, and that's improper. You're supposed to be the backstop. When the admin says, well, we want to hire 200 more people, non-teaching staff, you're supposed to say, well, wait a second, I don't think that's a very good idea when our enrollment is down, like that just happened here a few months ago. Or when it comes to doing more hiring, and it's maybe you would say, now is not a very good time. The economy is horrible, and people are struggling to pay bills. And if we're going to hire more people, whether they're teaching or non-teaching type of people, it's going to cost more money, and then we're going to end up raising taxes on the public. And you did that without really even considering our perspective at all, I think. It seemed that you didn't at all. It seemed that your perspective came from the perspective of the school, of what you wanted to do when it came to the school, what the school administration wanted to do. Oh, well, we want to hire more administration staff, non-teaching staff. We want to have more people in whatever categories you're going to put them in, and for whatever reasons you wanted to do it. Now, I don't object to the fact that maybe that was a good idea, but what I object to is that there was no one representing the taxpayers' perspective on this at all. You are teaming up with the administration of the school, and when you do that, we are being overlooked. You're supposed to work as a checks and balances in government. You're the check that is supposed to stop things happening like hiring 200 more people when your enrollment is down. That was a big mistake, and that's totally inconsistent with what you do when you're managing. So I don't feel that you're doing, you're representing us. I don't feel that you're working properly. I feel that you are just working more as an extension of the school administration. It really needs to change because you're our representatives. You know, we're getting taxed and we're looking for representation, and I see the school board working as part of the administration of the school. That's not proper at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lynn. Mr. Daniel Bennett?
I think we have students here.
Good
I'm not
evening,
sure.
Mr. Bennett.
We do?
Yes.
That's
Good evening.
wonderful. Hi, my name is Daniel Bennett. I just want to point out a couple things. What they just pointed out and then alluded to, I think is important. I don't believe the process is followed. And even in your own words, Ms. Haya, you said we're transparent and that is our focus. You told Ms. Spildy that, and she stood right here. Well, Ms. It wasn't the same setup because I believe Ms. Bracken was sitting there, but she's not sitting there today. And Ms. Morrison, I think you commented that the advice we get from Ms. Bracken is free and it's good. And that's your opinion. And even during that particular meeting at the 1:32 mark, Ms. Bracken was alluded to as being the board's counsel. This is what I take exception to. The appraisal district had, I guess she was a billing arrangement, wasn't an employee, but she was giving advice to the board. I don't think an employee of the district should be representing me as a taxpayer. I think this board needs independent advice, and you don't have it. So there's a conflict of interest, and to think that the advice being given to you in one way isn't influenced by something being done over here. I would hope you'll focus on that. And I want to talk about Ms. LeBlanc. I don't think we should be nominating her for Chancellor. I think we should be walking away from her. I watched the September 16th of 2021 meeting where she used a lot of ethnic percentages, said there was research from Garcia and Ramirez and Bent and Excellencia, Fuentes, Kim. I mean, I wrote them all down. And you said the faculty was 64% white and did not represent the student body. I think hiring based on the makeup of your student body is faulty thinking. It's not critical thinking. But one thing you didn't address was the administration. You went through the faculty. What is the makeup of the administration? Is that two
Sir,
going?
I'm sorry, would you mind addressing the board? Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry. I wonder why that was left out of the equation. Are we going to do the same to the faculty? Are we going to do the administration? And what are the percentages within the administration? I think it's faulty thinking, it's racially biased, and we should be walking away from that type of thinking. When I walk into this room, I don't look around who's sitting in the audience. I did today, purposely. Because I want to feel comfortable and included. No. I want to see if there's students here whom you're serving, and I want to see taxpayers here whom you're supposed to be serving. And I want to see the brightest, the most educated, the most engaged people at this college. And that plan distances us from all of that. And I disagree with the process you went through. You didn't give notice. Notice is a written in law. Saying, yay, someone's going to be our new chancellor is not notice. So I hope you'll reconsider and redo the process, and do reach out to the candidates in this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Were there any others, Mr. Gates? That's it? Okay, thank you. Okay. We'll move on to item number 3, which is board business items and announcements. 3A, approval of work session meeting minutes from October 13th of 2022. Does anyone have any questions or comments on those? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval.
Move approval from Mr. Barr. Second by Ms. DeKine, I believe. Is that Ms. DeKine? Yes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Approval of Board of Trustees meeting minutes from October 20th of 2022. Any questions or clarifications on those?
Move approval.
Move approval from Dr. Morrison.
Second.
Second from Mr. Hornsby. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. We'll go into item 3C, which is Trustee Activities, and we'll start off with Mr. Hornsby this evening.
Thank you. Good evening. I had the blessed privilege at the end of October to go to the Trinity River East campus to be a part of Project Alpha. Project Alpha is a project that's coordinated between the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and the March of Dimes to provide education and correct information for 12 and 13-year-old young men about many different areas of life, including sex and prevention of pregnancy, things that are concerning life and leadership, and they're mentored by men that are part of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and I got to bring greeting to these. It was probably almost 100 young boys between the ages of 12 to 15 that were present at that meeting. 2 of the deans from the health sciences and the nursing department were also present to give greetings. They received a tour of the campus, to get them introduced, to get them started to looking at college life and being involved in that. And so it was a great event, and I thanked TCC, thank them for coming to TCC, but I really thank Dr. Sean Madison and Trinity River East Campus for hosting that event. Ms. Johnson from March of Dimes was also there, present, to make a presentation to those young men. And so it was a great event that morning. They got breakfast and a tour, and then they had some workshops that they attended and had about 4 or 5 different speakers that they were able to speak to that day. So that was a great event. The next one, I believe, is the 2022 Freedom Fund, 45th Freedom Fund banquet, which was sponsored by the NAACP. And I was there. Marjorie Fudge was the speaker. She is the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health of Housing and Urban Development, and she was our speaker, and she gave a very timely speech, very enlightening about the statistics of housing and the lack of housing in different areas in our city, and how we can be impactful in making sure that individuals have places to stay and live. So that was a great event. Was able to attend that event. Again, I spoke on last week about the Southeast Campus Veterans Day observance that they had. We had a retired Marine Master Sergeant that was our speaker, and that was a great event for that event as well. So I believe that was all my old mind can remember right now. I did have a piece of paper, but I walked off and left it on my desk.
You did great. You did great. And thank you so much for attending those events and reporting on them. Those certainly do meet our goals of serving the community and meeting the community and the students where they are. So thank you for that. Yes, Dr. Morrison.
Good evening. Thank you,
evening.
Madam President, board members, faculty, staff, and students, community representatives. It's a pleasure to be able to address you again this evening to express my delight in the wonderful activities that I share on Twitter and Instagram with the campuses, all the wonderful student activities. It makes me want to go back to be a student again. Thank you all for a huge variety, so many wonderful, meaningful activities, and I really appreciate being able to participate with you. Also, I want to congratulate TCC South Campus C Department for collaborating with the community for the 11th annual intergenerational community conversation. It was an intensive, productive, open discussion. We had persons from all 7 generations present and engaged. And I want to say also that the listening was really on point. I was pleased to participate in a panel with the board president, the chancellor elect, and myself. So we got candid information, learned all about these women and their history in construction from their childhood activities to today. It's a wonderful perspective. So thank you all for supporting that. Look forward to having that conversation again in year 12, and especially want to thank Dr. Lufkin for participating with us and supporting us through that. And I also want to thank all the campuses for the varied, wonderful activities that were held in support and honor of Veterans Day. I'm pleased to say that all 3 of my brothers, who were considerably older than me, were veterans. They were all in World War II. In fact, they were all there on V-Day. And so I was very pleased to vicariously participate in some of those activities. And we must always pay tribute to all of our representatives, past and present, in the armed forces. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to light, Dr. Morrison. We appreciate it. And we're fortunate that we have some board members that have served as well. I know I've mentioned it. Mr. Kine served. You were in the Army, that's right. And also, Mr. Hornsby, you served the United States. So thank you all for your service and all of those. And we have actually several students. We have faculty members that are also members of the armed forces. So thank you all for your service and your sacrifices. I know Mr. Pacheco was also in the military. So thank you all again for your service. Thank you, Dr. Morrison. Mr. Barr.
Yes, ma'am. I want to introduce to the board Avery Jones, who's a current Algebra 2 teacher at the Grapevine Colleyville Independent School District Collegiate Academy. Let me come over here with you for a second. Ms. Jones is the current Algebra 2 teacher at Grapevine Colleyville ISD Collegiate Academy. She has returned to TCC Northeast Campus, where she graduated from high school, as well as earning her associate's degree in 2019. In May of this year, she graduated from Stephen F. Austin State University, summa cum laude, with a bachelor's in mathematics. As a former student at the Grapevine Colleyville ISD Collegiate Academy at the Northeast campus, she has a great perspective to share with her students, her Algebra 2 students. So congratulations. We're proud of her.
Axum Jacks.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say thank you so much for the amazing opportunity that you provided for me and many of my friends and now my current students. It's helped me so much. It got me a year ahead, helped me graduate almost completely debt-free, and it provided a lot of support because I was not sure if I would be able to afford college, even though it was something that I always knew that I wanted to do. I was in a position where I didn't know at all how college worked. Neither my parents went to college. My one grandmother who did go to college had passed away, so I had very little idea on what it would be like. So getting to experience college in high school really helped me get ahead, see what I needed to do, and it really helped me when I went to Stephen F. Austin to focus on those upper level math classes that I was taking. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you did for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely.
You know, that's another great story about what TCC is doing, and the fact that she graduated with the highest honors is very impressive. And that also speaks to the work that TCC is doing and the quality of the education that's being delivered. There are two other things I wanted to mention. I had the privilege, along with a number of my colleagues on the board, of attending the TCC Foundation's scholarship dinner a few weeks ago at the Fort Worth Zoo. There were about 500 people there, including scholarship recipients as well as donors, and it was a great event. That is a very, very nice facility, and it was great to hear from the Chancellor, from Karen Thornton, who's the head of or chairs the TCC Foundation, but also to hear from students as well. Again, it really makes you feel good about what's going on and what the foundation is doing for our students. And lastly, along with a couple of my colleagues on the board, I had the privilege of attending the Fort Worth Chamber's State of the County address by outgoing County Judge Glenn Whitley. Very interesting meeting. Judge Whitley talked about what's going on in the county, and it was very informative. We don't have a lot of friends of TCC any better than Judge Whitley, and appreciated the opportunity to hear him. That's all I have.
Okay, you were busy, very busy.
It's been busy.
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you very much. It was nice we were so thankful that you came out to visit with us this evening and to share a little bit about your story, Ms. Johnson. Okay. Ms. DeGuy.
Well, I also have a special guest to introduce. Dr. Garza. I'll stand over here. Well, here we go. I'm thrilled to be able to introduce Dr. Fred Garza. Dr. Garza doesn't know this about me, but I am the daughter of an art history teacher. So this has profoundly impacted my life, what I'm about to share with you about Dr. Garza. Dr. Fred Garza was born in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico in 1957. His family immigrated to Laredo, Texas, and he became an American citizen on October 19th, 1973. Dr. Garza, you have been an American longer than I have. After high school, Dr. Garza went to Texas A&M University, majoring in food science, and he continued his education with a teacher certification from the University of Texas at Arlington. Dr. Garza completed a Master of Education in 1987 and a Doctor of Philosophy in Curriculum and Instruction at the University of North Texas. From 2014 to 2019, Dr. Garza continued to take art classes in drawing and oil at Tarrant County College Southeast Campus. He has also taken French classes at TCC South Campus. I also speak a little bit of French. For several years, he taught chemistry, honors advanced chemistry, and AP chemistry at Mansfield High School and Summit High School. In 2018, Dr. Garza retired from Mansfield ISD, and in his spare time, Dr. Garza enjoys painting and cooking. And what I wanted to share before I turned it over to Dr. Garza to tell us a little bit about his own background is that Dr. Garza donated this beautiful painting that you see right over here to the Chancellor's office. It's titled Koi Pond of the Dallas Arboretum, and maybe you can share a little bit with us about the medium that it's made from and the inspiration. So thank you, Dr. Garza.
It's my pleasure to be here and to have donated this painting to honor you. You honor me by honoring me. I want to honor you because you support the arts with every decision that you make financially, every decision that you make, whether it's hiring, whether it's supplies, and you look at the arts, whether it's in the painting medium, whether it's in the music area. That is something to be treasured because students take that forever into their future lives. I have enjoyed painting, and I found it as a sense of just resting, releasing all of the tension that was going on in the day. And what I love about it is that I truly want for you to, when you see this, to get the sense of just relaxing. When we went over there, I went with my friend Rosemary, and we went there, and I saw that koi pond at the Dallas Arboretum, and I said, that is so beautiful. Let me take a picture, and I took it, and I said, I wonder if I could paint that. I don't know if I could. And I just worked at it and worked at it, worked at it. It truly is a labor of love because it is not something that is done in a few hours, a few days, or a few weeks. It takes, that painting took about 4 months, over a 4 month span, and using about 3 days per week to work on it, little by little, making sure that the colors would still stay vibrant. And I want to tell you that the reason that I'm able to paint that way is because of the wonderful instruction that TCC gave me. I had Kyle Garrett as my drawing teacher. He was fabulous. And Dana Ferrara as my oil painting teacher there at the Southeast Campus. And both of those instructors, I want to say, are a reflection of the exemplary faculty that you hire. They did a wonderful job with me, and I know that they did the same with others because they have a very high level of integrity in their job, and they look at each student as a little gem, a little possibility of something that can happen in the future. Some students come with some background in high school painting, and their work might look polished, and Ms. Ferrara was able to go ahead and bring out from them even more and get them to the point where they're learning at a greater level. And Kyle Garrett, my drawing teacher, every time that I would go to class, he would work with me. He would go ahead and show me what was needing to be worked on. One of the things that I loved about both of them is that they never touched my work. They never touched my painting. A true art teacher will go ahead and give instruction, but they'll never touch your painting. Your painting is your painting, and I love that. And just as I honor you, I want to honor you with this painting, I would like to express my gratitude to the taxpayers because the taxpayers are the ones that provide the funds for all these courses, these fabulous courses. And I appreciate all the taxpayers that go ahead and contribute to the Tarrant County College system. And last of all, I just appreciate the fact that you enjoy my painting, you know, because otherwise it would be sitting in a closet or, you know, on the wall with just me looking at it and say, oh, how pretty. But I truly want for you to go ahead and have the opportunity to share it with all those that come into your office, and you can say, look what we did, because it's not only me that's represented in that painting. It's each one of you in each one of your decisions, whether it's financial or whether it's based on faculty. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Garza. It's beautiful. I have one other thing to report on. October 26th through the 29th, the trustees Ayala, Barr, Hornsby, and I, along with Chancellor LeBlanc and Mr. Gates, attended the 53rd Annual Association of Community College Trustees Leadership Congress in New York City. This year's theme was improving the lives of entire families, and we had the opportunity to attend trainings and keynote speakers that focused on providing support specifically to youth transitioning out of foster care. I attended sessions on conducting board retreats, which then we had a board retreat, and legislative priorities, and was also able to attend a Western Regional Caucus where TCC's delegates elected regional and national ACCT representatives. It was also a very important chance to learn about how boards and districts across the nation operate. So I'd like to thank the district for providing us with this valuable board development opportunity, and we can't wait to put everything that we learned into practice here.
Thank you, Mr. Kine. We appreciate that. It was a very informative conference. We learned we were able to meet so many other trustees, and as we prepare for legislative visits, that was very, very important. And also thank you, Dr. Garza, for the lovely painting. We appreciate that, and this will be in display for generations to come. So thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Okay, Ms. Wood.
Well, I do have some guests to introduce, but I'd like to do the pictures first because it ties into the guest. So I was able to attend the Phi Theta Kappa event last Thursday. They had their induction ceremony, and although there are 160 new Phi Theta Kappa members, 30 were inducted last Thursday evening. Dr. Martinez was kind of the lead on this ceremony. There were lots of parents there. One parent came all the way from, I want to say, Ohio, just to see her daughter in this ceremony, which was amazing. And the Northeast Jazz Band provided live music outside. The speaker that evening was Erin Moran, and there's Erin. So she gave a lovely talk and encouraging the students to follow their passion and their dreams. And more students. And then last but not least, I want to talk about the professors and those that contributed to helping the students. And here they are on stage, Professor Sarah Reed, Professor Sean Foshi, and Dr. Peter Martinez, of course, Grant Griffin, Samantha Elkins, and Janelle Buck also contributed. And this event, I don't know if you could tell from the size of the room, but there were, food was provided. It was a wonderful event, and all of it was paid for by Phi Theta Kappa funds. Not any of it was paid for by TCC, which I thought was really awesome. They receive their membership dues every year, and this was part of one of the things they pay for themselves. So I was very proud of all the students that were there and the students that attended. In the last picture, you'll see Dr. Ayers and myself and Dr. Teresa Craig I hope I said that right. She's the new Vice President of Student Affairs, and we just had a great time just meeting with the students and getting to know them, and very proud of all the students that went through the ceremony that evening. There were some other pictures, but I'm not sure. That's okay. That's fine. I think that's it for that. So I also wanted to introduce two students, Tommy Wynn and Christian Apate, if they will come up to the podium. So these gentlemen I actually already met, so it was kind of nice that I get to introduce them. This is Tommy Wynn and Christian Apate. And I'm going to start with Tommy. Tommy's the Vice President of Fellowship of Phi Tau, the chapter of Phi Theta Kappa of Tarrant County College Northeast Campus. He's participated in honors in the Action Project and College Project, as well as organizing the fall induction ceremony for his chapter, which is the one we attended, so thank you. And this is Christian, and Christian is the Vice President of Leadership for Phi Tau, the chapter of Phi Theta Kappa of TCC Northeast Campus. He's heavily involved in leading the Honors in Action program and participated in aiding the college projects whilst leading several member meetings. So we thank you, and it's a pleasure to get to see you guys again. Thank you for coming. I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you all, thank y'all for coming. Would you like to share a little bit about what your experience has been like, please? Just give us.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So one of the projects we do every single semester or year is the college project, where we try to make life on the college better for every student. This year we were doing advertisement for the underappreciated clubs that were happening. We were doing the soccer club, the gym bowling, math competition, and the food pantry, so every student could go through the semester not be hungry. And then during the induction, I remember last semester when I first got inducted, it was a great night. I loved it, and I wanted to share the experience with the new inductees this semester, and I tried to make it as amazing as possible, and from what I've heard, a lot of the members really enjoyed it. And
my name is Christian Aponte, and as she said, I am the Vice President of Leadership. And one of the college projects that we have is more for a community-based idea, and we're given a theme that we have to follow upon. And we do research on this theme, which is play this time. And then we try to organize something, we lead something to get the community together and include play. And one of the things that we hit on the most was the developmental benefits of play, and like the leadership skills that you could perceive from it, and organizational skills, and all the benefits that it had. So what we did was we represented Phi Tau at the Keller Run in the Dark. And we had a nice tent, and we had a little game that we made. It was a game for like kids from like as young as like 3 to like 15, and we had a lot of people come, and they enjoyed it, and we saw that our research lined up with what was happening as they were enjoying the event, and they were trying to lead each other and to win. And it was a friendly competition, which they got awards after, and it was a fun time.
And then the last thing for our projects is to write about it and submit it to the International Phi Theta Kappa to get graded. And we will be going to the Catalyst during April of 2023 to see if we get any prizes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing them.
Thank you.
Yes, I was going to see if we could have y'all come up so we can do a photo for those students, all the students, and also Ms. Johnson, and then I believe Dr. Garza, if y'all want to come on up so we can take a photo with everybody. Where'd Dr. Morrison? Okay. We can move this. Where do you want us going? Stand us? You want us standing? Some sitting? Okay. Okay. I'm told to sit. Okay. Yes. So we want to thank each and every one of you that came to visit and talk about your experience here at TCC. And for these young students, we appreciate your leadership and involvement in the community. We look forward to seeing you continue to grow. So thank you for that. Wanted to just make an update on a couple of things that I participated in. Did we get everybody's? Yes, we did. The first thing I wanted to mention is about the October 21st, the Northwest Campus hosted TCC's first ever naturalization ceremony, at which 35 participants took their oath to the United States of America in front of their family and friends. It was coordinated by Lourdes Davenport and the English Language Learning Program, as well as Lisa Benedetti, the Dean of Humanities. Dr. Sonia Brown, the Dean of Public Services and Social Behavior Sciences, Daniela Molina, Coordinator of CEE, and Maggie Burns, Administrative Assistant for Public Services and Social Behavioral Sciences. It was a fantastic event. It was a wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Blankenbaker, for hosting this. It was just an amazing event. I had an opportunity to address the attendees, and for me it was a very personal experience to see so many and to hear so many of the stories of those folks that took their oath that day. Several of them had waited 6 years or more to complete this journey, and I had an opportunity to share the personal journey of my family when they immigrated here. So I want to congratulate each and every one of these folks. They were it was just a beautiful and powerful experience to see them. They were just so happy to complete this journey, and the room was just full of hope, I think is the way we could describe it. Don't you think, Dr. Blankenbaker? Absolutely. So congratulations to the Northwest Campus for that, and thank you so much, and want to congratulate all of these people. And as a matter of fact, some of them were students at TCC, if I'm not mistaken. That's correct. Okay. Also want to mention that TCC participated on November 5th, faculty, staff, and students in the Artes de la Rosa Cultural Center's 19th annual Dia de los Muertos parade. You can see there we have a vehicle that's wrapped that says "You belong here, aquí perteneces." So we want to congratulate Arturo Martinez for his efforts. Again, we had some faculty members, we had families, we had students, and it was in partnership also with the Visit Fort Worth, Artes de la Rosa, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful event. Fortunately, not all of us were able to attend because we had a retreat that particular day, but I want to congratulate those folks that participated and represented TCC. And finally, I want to recognize the Collegian. The Collegian came back from the National Convention on October 30th with 15 national awards, one of which was Best in Show trophy. Yeah. I see Alex there. Congratulations. That is fantastic. The Media Fest 2022 was in Washington. It paired out usual National Collegiate or College Media Convention with the Society of Professional Journalists Convention, which gave the students great access to working media professionals from around America and included top-notch speakers headlined by Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. So we want to recognize our students. The Collegian placed first among two-year schools in the nation for its digital newsletter, which meant we received a gold Best in Show trophy, which I think Alex was showing there. We finished second in Best of Show for two-year newspaper and fourth in two-year website. We also finished second in the country for Best Two-Year Newspaper of the Year from College Media Association. And let's see, we were one of only 6 two-year schools in the country to even be a finalist in the Pacemaker Award. So congratulations for that as well. And the Associated Collegiate Press also gave out 2 special awards as part of its 100th anniversary celebration. And the Collegian was honored as part of the Pacemaker 100, celebrating the schools that have won the most Pacemaker Awards in the organization's history. Plus, our adjunct instructor, Robert Bowler, was named as an ACP Pioneer, honoring journalism educators who have made exceptional contributions to the collegiate journalism. So thank you for all the work that you do and for representing TCC, and we wish you much congratulations. Thank you. Yes. Okay, now, unless there's anything further, we'll go on to item number 4 of the agenda. Was there anything else, Mr. Gates, that we were? Okay, thank you. All right. For those of you that are new to our meetings, we may go through some of these items a little bit quickly because we've had a work session where we've discussed these in detail. And so, Ms. Alanis, if you don't mind starting off, this is the consideration approval of the consent agenda. And if you don't mind introducing yourself and your role, please.
Yes,
Thank
Susan
you.
Alanis, I'm the Chief Operating Officer, and I was going to request that you remove, it is, can you not hear me? It's green. Oh, I just wasn't close enough, sorry about that. Susan Alanis, Chief Operating Officer, and I was going to request that you remove 4G from your consent agenda so that we can amend it before you take action on it.
All right, so for the consent and approval agenda, consent and approval of the consent agenda will be items 4A, B, C, D, E, and F. Is that correct? And then we'll do 4G separately. Okay. So any questions or comments on those, board members?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you. For
Second.
items 4A through 4F, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Barr, and seconded by
Morrison.
Dr. Morrison. Okay. All in favor of voting on items 4A, B, C, D, E, and F, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Okay, Ms. Alanis.
Yes, so 4G is the amendment to the agreement that we have with the foundation to manage our minerals, and we noticed an error on the attachment, and we've distributed it around the table for you. The purpose of the amendment was to increase the total amount of the annual draw that TCC can request for scholarship awards, as well as the number of students. What I failed to notice on the exhibit is that there's actually a total down at the bottom that also needed to be updated. So we've corrected that, and so if you would consider this and approve it as amended.
Okay, give everyone a moment. It's 4G. Make sure everybody has it, that you've had an opportunity to look at it.
It was the exhibit that looks like this. It's around your places, and it's redlined to show you the changes.
So for clarity, we're going to look at the item, but we're doing it as a separate item?
Yes.
That has
Yes.
been amended?
That's
That's
correct. I have it here. Yes, I did. Did you find yours, Ms. Wood, Mr. Kine?
Could you
Mr.
point out the
Humphrey?
changes again for me?
Yes, so you'll notice that the original red line in the first line showed that we were increasing the annual amount to be dispersed from $250,000 to $400,000, and the number of students from 180 to 250. And then what we had failed to do was down at the bottom, it had the estimated scholarship annual totals that we had not updated with those changes to the first line. So we have done that and made that correction. Yes, ma'am.
Could you read that total in the record, please?
If I don't have that one in front of me.
I have it.
Oh,
So
thank you.
the estimated annual scholarship annual totals will now be maximum TCC to TCC Foundation annual billing amount will be $503,125, which is more than what was initially anticipated.
Correct. Thank you.
Yes.
And also, Dr. Morrison, thank you for bringing that up. There's also going to be more students. More students will be able to receive the disbursement. I think it was originally 338. Do you have that?
Yes,
Okay, and it's now 400.
now 400 students.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. Thank you for bringing that. Any further questions or clarifications for Ms. Alanis?
Move approval.
Move approval from Dr. Morrison.
Six.
Second by Ms. DeKine. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries, and that's for 4G, amendment to the scholarship criteria, Exhibit A. We'll move on to item number 5. 5A, refresh of the South Campus networking switches for South Campus refresh from General Datatech LP in the amount of $1,222,314.14. Mr. Pacheco.
Good evening. Bob Pacheco, Chief Technology Officer for the school.
Thank you.
So, the current and projected networking demands for students, classrooms, faculty, staff, and Internet of Things means we need to refresh and upgrade the network and switches to ensure uptime, security, and stability. The network and switches on the South Campus have aged beyond their functional life. This request will replace the old switches from the Cisco with the modern 9300 series switches. And as you recall from last week, there was a request to discuss and demonstrate the due diligence that was done for the price in here. So in the previous board I had mentioned DIR, the Texas Department of Information Resources. I want to take a moment and remind everyone what a fantastic cost-saving resource the Texas DIR is and why. DIR empowers TCCD technology purchasing by, 1, saving time. DIR goes through a competitive procurement process using the request for offer method of procurement to procure automated information systems and information technology products and services. This cuts the procurement time for the district. 2, saving money. DIR leverages the state of Texas's purchasing power to get our organizations big savings, meaning you receive discounted pricing with pre-negotiated terms and conditions in compliance with state procurement rules. 3, easier process. Easily search for products and services and filter the results. We can quickly find vendors that we can then get great pricing from. And then 4, quality assurance. Every DIR approved vendor must comply with the contract in full, meaning they're knowledgeable and will meet and often exceed our expectations. This current board item that we're talking about here is a great example of the power of DIR and other competitive systems. One IT uses this to get the best pricing for the college. We solicited 3 quotes for the replacement network hardware and that we need to refresh the South Campus infrastructures. The prices ranged from $1.2 million all the way up to $1.7, and we had selected the $1.2 million. Moving for any questions.
I just have to say thank you for getting us that information. That really helps.
And we will provide that from now on, so when we see
Appreciate
that.
it.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Just want to clarify, I think you verified this before, but this includes the product and the installation?
Yes, it
That's
does.
correct, okay.
Yes.
Okay, any further questions or comments for Mr. Pacheco?
Move to approve.
Move to approve from Mr. Hornsby.
Second.
Second from Ms. Wood. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you for explaining that for us. As Ms. Wood said, that's very helpful.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you. Okay, 5B, we'll move on to spend authority for up to $3 million annually to purchase standard computer equipment and accessories from various cooperative and DIR contracts.
So this is a little bit of a twist on that by using DIR to compete against each other for the best possible price. Staff recommends combining Texas Department of Information Resources and other Texas cooperative contracting companies into a competitive solicitation process amongst themselves for the times when TCC purchases commodity electronic equipment. To ensure the best competitive pricing while providing the district with the most up-to-date technology, the staff recommends that each time devices and accessories are needed, the most current standards will be used when requesting competitive quotes from the vendors. This process will ensure that the college will optimize the funds spent to acquire technology that is current and ready for our environment at the best possible price.
Thank you, Mr. Pacheco. Any questions or comments for Mr. Pacheco on this one? We'll entertain a motion. Okay, from Dr. Morrison, and second by Mr. Barr. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. 5C, professional services agreement with FacilityRX LLC for move management. Do you want to talk to this one first, or do you want me to read through it?
You can read through
Okay.
it then, yes.
For LLC for move management consulting services for the bond program on the Northwest and Southeast campuses in the amount of $1,611,311.
Yeah, so I'll start with suggesting that we would ask you to continue this item to December the 8th. We are going to schedule some time with our bond subcommittee and President Ayala to provide a little bit more detail on the complexity of this move, which actually is really 46 moves combined for how we handle both of these campuses. So, but anyway, we would ask that you continue until December so that we can provide some additional information and then prepare that for the board's discussion at that time.
Okay.
I move we continue item 5C to December board meeting.
Okay, all right, Mr. Barr?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kind. So we're going to move this to our December meeting, just so
Yes.
everybody's clear. Okay.
That's correct.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries it. We'll move it. Okay, thank you. 5D, professional services agreement with Triad Consulting for district-wide security master planning in the amount of $1,490,706.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to take just a moment of privilege before we talk specifically about this, but you all know that the board has been supporting a tremendous amount of work on all of our facilities and our capital plan. And I wanted to point out that these giant notebooks, that I didn't even know they made notebooks that big, back here on the table are hard copies of the facility master plan that you've recently endorsed and been supportive of over the last year. We've sent you a link, and we're actually in the process of publishing it publicly. However, we wanted you to get a chance to see that, and if you would like us to deliver one to you, we would be happy to do so. They are 13 pounds, actually. We weighed them to see, but anyway, but it is an important culmination of so much work that's gone into how we're caring for our physical environment here.
Yes, thank you.
But related to that is this particular item where, as you know, we care for more than 4 million square feet, but more importantly, we care for the students and the employees who are and community visitors who are on our campuses, and security is important in that endeavor. And it's time for us to make sure that we've got a really comprehensive view of our security cameras, our code blue phones, our cybersecurity, and how we are replacing and standardizing that equipment and ensuring that we've got all the appropriate policies and so on in place. So this is probably the last major planning effort that we're layering into this to make sure that we're deliberate about the dollars that we spend into the future to maintain that. You may recall that I believe it was in August that the board authorized replacement camera systems as we standardize on a particular equipment, particularly as we're building new buildings and so on. But this will allow us to get organized around that effort and make sure that we're making sound decisions.
Okay, any questions, clarifications? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion.
Upon the recommendation of our Chief Operating Officer, I would move approval.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Morrison. We need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Barr. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries, and thank you very much for all the efforts that has gone into this. It's very important about keeping our campuses and our students secure, so thank you. We'll move on to 5E, contract with Acumen Enterprises, Inc. for the Southeast Campus. Oh, goodness, okay. Southeast Campus, Early College High School facility, air-conditioned condenser unit replacement in the amount of $499,000.
Yes, this one's pretty straightforward. It's replacing some failing HVAC equipment.
Move to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Great, that was Ms. Dekine, and second by Mr. Hornsby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. You're going to have an air-conditioned condenser. You're welcome. Dr. Capola. Okay, we'll move on to 5F, amendment to contract with Talent Corporation LLC for the first optional renewal of professional employer service for skilled construction maintenance trade workers in an amount not to exceed $1,100,000.
Yes, as you know, the college uses various forms of staff augmentation to support the skills that we need to complete the work that we do every day. This is an extension, the first extension of a contract that was authorized a couple of years ago, and it supports our real estate and facilities group to get the trades contractors that we need to take care of our campuses.
Any questions or clarifications for Ms. Alanis? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved from Dr. Morrison.
Second.
Second for Mr. Hornsby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. We'll go into item 6, the monthly financial report. Ms. Alanis.
Yes, so on the screen you see sort of the highlights, and one of the things I'll point out is that this year you are aware that we've been amending our budget to fund our capital program, and so we've had some planned use of fund balance, and so that's probably the most significant thing from the reporting out on the October financials that you can see that reflected here, that it increased our budget to $514 million. We are breaking that out separately so that you can see current income compared to the overall budget, and we are on track there. And as you know, in January is when we'll be reporting out tax proceeds that follows a cycle there. Our expenses are on track. I need to think about a different way probably to present that as well, because we moved all of the funds to Fund 40 as intended, and Fund 45 or 46 as intended this last month, and so it looks like we've expended more of our budget than we have, but we'll figure out ways to present that differently as we move forward.
Give everybody a moment to look
We
at
are
that.
on track.
Yes.
Yes, and you do have the investment report in your board packet as well, and Mallory Sampson will be with us in January for the quarterly update, since we have an abbreviated meeting in December, but she'll be here to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the market and put that into layperson's terms for all of us. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Alanis? Okay, thank you. All right, Interim Chancellor's report, Dr. LeBlanc.
Thank you. So we've had an interesting month. We did on November 2nd, several of us attended the annual Heart of North Texas Business Conference, which is in the northeast quadrant of Tarrant County, well attended by business people, our business partners, politicians, and of course other educators. Kenya Ayers Palmore was an active player in pulling the program together, and all of the presidents and Mr. Greenhill attended that session, and so that was important for us to attend, and we plan to do that moving forward. Also want to point out that on November 7th, Ms. Dekine gave an excellent keynote presentation on annual Veterans Community Luncheon, and that was very, very nice, and it's really awesome for our trustees to present and let the students see another side of them, so it's all very good. So it was already mentioned that board members attended ACCT, and there were some excellent speakers, one of whom gave a presentation, and we purchased the book. And it's a book about the future of higher education. It's called The Great Upheaval by Arthur Levine. And it's an interesting read because from his lens and others that support his ideas, the community colleges will play an even more important role because community colleges stand ready to pivot quickly and make quick adjustments to the needs of the community. And so we should do very well. We thought that was one of the best presentations, although all of the keynote speakers were excellent. And there will be an ACCT National Legislative Summit in February 5th through the 8th. You should have received information already. And I encourage you to consider attending, and if you do, to let us know so that we can get everyone registered and assured a spot at the legislative summit. Let's see. I also wanted to mention two other pieces when we talk about student outcomes. So earlier you got to meet our students and see perfect examples of outcomes. We have two programs that are over 50 years old, respiratory care and radiologic care. And each is led by someone that graduated from the program, earned more credentials, worked in the real workplace, and came back and is running the program. The radiologic care program is led by Brian Spence. You met him a few months ago. And the respiratory care program is run by Don Holt. And you have not met him, but he's been with the college for several years. Both programs are doing extremely well. And so congratulations to them. And those are just a few examples of many that we can give you. And then finally, on the board planning calendar, we have quite a bit going on. Instead of having a work session and a board meeting in December, because December is such a busy month, we will have the holiday luncheon, and immediately after we will have the board meeting. And that will be on December 8th. So we look forward to seeing everyone at the board luncheon. We've also invited the foundation board members. So it'll be the foundation board members, the board of trustees, and our cabinet members for that event. So that's what I have.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. LeBlanc. We do have a busy next couple of months coming up, so thank you for keeping us updated on all of those things. We have a closed session that we'll be meeting. The board will conduct a closed meeting in order to discuss matters permitted by the following sections of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, consultation with attorney for legal issues regarding any item listed on today's district board meeting agenda, Section 551.072 for deliberations regarding real property, Section 551 .074 on deliberations on personnel matters, consultation with attorney on the terms and conditions of the proposed employment contract with Dr. Elva LeBlanc for the position of Chancellor of Tarrant County College District, and D, Section 551.076 deliberations on security devices or security audits. Okay, we'll go ahead and go to session.
Going to the conference
Yes,
room?
we'll be going to the conference room. Thank you. you ready for me, or not yet? Okay. The board will now reconvene in open session, and the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved from
Second.
Dr. Morrison and second by Mr. Hornsby. We're adjourned. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Wish y'all a good holiday.
To
That's
you, too.
right. Amen. There we go. Yes.